Chris and Allison.
All right, Melinda, thank you. For the first time since America has been bracing for possible federal budget cuts, the White House releases probable numbers that will hit each state.
Now, the impact here in Arkansas will affect areas from military training to health care.
It can be far-reaching. I think we're willing to suffer a little bit. We just don't want to suffer disproportionately compared to the rest of the country.
If sequestration hits on March 1st, each state department will take about 8% hit in its funding.
And Congressman Tim Griffin joins us on the desk this morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. This is certainly a timely and hot topic. We're talking about how this might affect Arkansans, and we heard the governor speak a little bit, but certainly it looks like defense and education are right up there. How do you see this impacting our state?
Well, we are concerned about the impact on the state, particularly on national defense. But some context is important here. A lot of people want compromise out of Washington. This is compromise. The sequester was compromised from August of 2011. It was the president's idea, and when you compromise with the president, you're going to have some of his ideas in the final deal. What we've done in the House is we passed 2 bills to spread the cuts more evenly across the government where they're not so national defense focused. But at the end of the day, this is a result of our overspending that we've been doing for years. And I will say this, if we don't address our spending problem, if we have a debt crisis, these cuts will look like child's play compared to where we'll end up going. If we can't deal with 3% right now, how in the world are we ever going to deal with a $16 trillion debt? So I am concerned about this, and we are trying to deal with the national defense focus to spread it out. But we've got to be realistic in the sense that the president is talking about these like they're 1908, like we're going back to 1908 budget. This takes us back to a 2008 budget. The federal budget will spend more this year than last year. Only in Washington is that a cut. So we've got to deal with it, but you know, I think ultimately this is a consequence of spending too much for too long.
All right, Congressman Tim Griffin, real quickly, we're almost out of time, but how should we hold our breath? How likely do you think this is going to happen when we're talking about cutting education, taking kids out of Head Start, and you know, leaving them without vaccinations? I mean, that's kind of scary to think about.
Let's be clear. A lot of this is what the president is saying. The president also said the stimulus would create 30,000 jobs in Arkansas, and it didn't. The president says a lot of things. I think there will definitely be an impact, and we need to address the national security component. But yeah, I think a lot of what's coming out of the White House is for political purposes, and I believe that the administration and the president are going to make this as painful as possible for political gain. I know that's sad to hear, but I believe it. And so, yes, there'll be an impact. It's never pleasant. It's going to be difficult, and we're trying to address that. But I don't necessarily buy everything that the president's saying, for good reason.
Congressman Tim Griffin with us this morning. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. You can check out the entire document on our website. Look for Federal Cuts Story. Again, Congressman Tim Griffin, and with us this morning.